Hey gang, Yubi here. Welcome to my shop. I've got a lot going on in my life right now, and I guess you'll be seeing videos of some of the things that I've been doing in the near future. I just haven't had any time to do any editing. But anyways, I've got a hot deadline on this particular project here. This is going to be a pedestal console type thing. It's on for a boat. Person will be steering here, and I'm gonna have a bunch of cutout here that I'm gonna do by hand for instruments. Just wanted to share a couple tips about aluminum. This is 1/4 inch aluminum, and I've got a Econo Tig, a Miller Econo Tig. It's a 180, and there's no way on its own that you could weld aluminum. One, because it doesn't put out enough heat, and, well, I guess that's primarily it. It doesn't put out enough heat to heat up the area hot enough, and so I wanted to share a couple tips. You guys have all seen the video on my Smith gas saver torch setup. Well, it's all about preheat. So you see this, I've got one last joint there. Now heat does build up. I'm working my way from here to there, just going over one tack at a time. There's like maybe, I don't know, 8 tacks. And so the heat does build up, but aluminum is such a high conductor of heat, you know, you just don't build up enough heat from welding. So on outside corners, you don't need as much preheat, but when you get to inside corners where it's a T-joint, this plate that it's butting up against is gonna rob and require just a ton of heat. So I preheat very high here, around 350, and while up here, I'll only preheat to about 175. That's my one tip. Preheat before you weld, and you will increase the amount of thickness that you're able to join together. And I've got a tip number 2. When there's grinding to be done on aluminum, if you don't know this trick, it really sucks, because aluminum plugs up your abrasive very quickly. In fact, it's dangerous to grind aluminum on certain abrasives, because what they'll do is they'll impregnate the pores, and the pressure when people use the stone will continue to put pressure on that pore, and stones have been known to explode. So that's one of the reasons why people say don't grind aluminum. The other thing is the aluminum dust can ignite a chain reaction type fire, so you want to avoid that too. But with regards to grinding, especially with a disc like this, find a little paraffin to be really helpful. You just run the paraffin on the disc while it's spinning, and it prevents this type of clogging. It's unavoidable. You will get some eventually. Maybe you don't put enough the wax in between passes. You know, you might do too many passes without putting the wax on. So that's another tip. And do I have a tip number 3? Oh yeah. So tip number 3 is, well, not these, but it is what these are inspired off of. If you don't know what these are called Tig fingers. Jody at Welding Tips and Tricks markets these, and you should definitely support him and buy these things because they are handy. You can slide your torch while supporting the torch with your pinky or a couple fingers, depending on which one you buy. And these are great, but you know, I just prefer my old welding blanket. This one's got a coating on it, so you don't have a lot of welding fiberglass dust flying all over the place, getting in your skin and stuff. But you know, this is wide enough, and you know, this is hot, especially with the preheat and then all the welding. But I just find that being able to get my whole arms and, you know, weld on top of the welding blanket seems to be more comfortable for me personally. Definitely a place for these things though. And like I said, go check out Jody's website, Welding Tips and Tricks, if you don't know about it already. So that's it, gang. 3 tips for TIG welding aluminum. I wish I had some more, but I don't, and I've got to get back to work. So have a nice day unless you have other plans. Peace.